So I wanted to do a video on the day in a life of a freelance copywriter. So this is kind of a video for people who are looking at getting started with copywriting, maybe looking to dip their toes in, and they want to know what day-to-day life would look like when they turn their life into, or this is like their career basically. And in fact, I'll give you two outcomes of this, two like paths. Maybe somebody who wants to do this on the side and somebody who does this full time. So you can know it looks both ways. So my journey when I first started copywriting started off as a side gig or a side hustle. And I've plenty of videos on this channel, and I'll link actually a video at the end of this, which tells you about my story. But essentially I stumbled across copywriting and did copywriting on the side for a little bit before I decided to go full time, which is probably up a lot of people's street because they want to test it out first and see if it's for them. But it's now about 10 o'clock, half 10 in the morning. I'm just out for a bit of a walk. I'm actually in America. It's a little bit different location today. And I'm in California. And I'll just give you a rundown of what my day looks like when I was full-time copywriting. So my life is a little bit different now. I have other things going on, but I still do a little bit of writing. I do a lot of video creation for this channel and helping other students with copywriting. But when I first started, my day looks pretty similar now actually. I actually split my time very similar as to how I used to. So wake up around 5:30 in the morning, 6 a.m. I'm quite an early riser. Usually wake up with an alarm clock. Some people don't like doing that, but I wake up with an alarm clock, and I wake up, go make coffee. I chill out in the morning for like half an hour or so, 40 minutes, just like, I don't know, reading random stuff or watching a YouTube video before I've got my head in gear and ready to go and start the day. And then I would go down to my local coffee shop, which at the time, like the only coffee shop that was open really at the time I wanted to go and do my copywriting was Starbucks. And I'm not really a big fan of Starbucks coffee. I think it actually tastes like shit. But I used to go down to Starbucks coffee about 7, 7:15. I would start my day. It used to be pitch black outside, and I would just start working. And I would usually do about 2 hours of work. And the reason I used to love going, and still do love working early in the morning, is because I always feel like I get a jump on the world. Start my day before everyone else kind of feeling. I don't know if you've ever had that before, but it made me feel really good. So I used to start my day before everyone else. And first things first, I would open my laptop and I would make a list of the top 5 things that I need to do that day. Top 5 main priorities. So whether that was client work or outreaching for new clients, or just generally having like blocks of time for me, just chilling out time or mountain biking, that was on there as well. But I would outline my 5 priority tasks for that day. And it was never more than 5 and never less than 3, because I found that if I had more than 5, it made it less likely that I would achieve those 5 things. And it also meant that I felt like I wasn't focused enough to have just 5 main tasks. So I just kept it to 5, and those tasks were needle moving tasks. So if it was like client work, it would be to complete a task or complete a project or work on a project. If it was outreaching, it would be like a certain number of clients I had to outreach to. And I just found writing those things down made it way easier to achieve and way more likely that I would achieve things rather than just keep it in my head. So I would do usually about 90 minutes of writing or 90 minutes of focused work. And all my work blocks, by the way, are focused. So focused work basically means you sit down and you only have the tabs open or the windows open on your computer that you need to do the task, right? So you don't have all these tabs open on your computer. You don't have all these social media platforms open. I literally used to have a Google document open. Spotify was running in the background to play my focus music, and which is just instrumental music basically. And then if I was using ChatGPT, that would be open, or any other tools I was using to do the job of the task at hand. And I would usually write for about 90 minutes, okay? And this is focused work, right? So focused work basically means no tabs open, and all you're doing is focusing on that bit of work in front of you. And you'd be surprised at how much work you can actually get done by doing this, rather than sitting for hours, but also, doing 10 minutes of writing here, then going over to social media to check your notifications, and then coming back. Because when you're in this focused work mind state, and all you're thinking is about is what is in front of you on the paper or the page, your brain, you get access to this level in your brain that is like unaccessible unless you are in this focused area, right? I can't remember the actual term for it, but when you're in here, your level of productivity goes through the roof. It's crazy. And you'll realize this, and you'll see this when you are switching tasks. So say if I was doing some writing and then I went to social media and then came back, or started working on something else then came back to the same task, it would take you about 20 minutes to half an hour to get back into that focus zone, which means you've just wasted half an hour essentially. Whereas if you didn't go off and do different things, you'd have achieved whatever you're trying to achieve in way less time. So 90 minutes first block. I would then walk away from my computer, and this is really important. Walk away from your computer and go and do something completely different. So this is why I like taking random walks like this. It resets my brain. I'll go and play with the dog, go and do something that isn't related to the task at hand, okay? And I found by doing this, it actually gave my subconscious mind time to process and work on the things that I was consciously working on. So again, I'm not a mind scientist or anything like that, but I understand that when you're focusing on things consciously and you're thinking about them actively, your brain can only focus on like a handful of things, like 7 things. Whereas when you completely forget about something and you're not focused on it, and you go away and play with the dog, go for a walk like this, your brain is still working on the task that you were consciously working on. But it's working on it at such a deep level in the background of your mind, you aren't consciously aware of this. That's why when you get random thoughts that pop into your head and you're like, oh, I need to go and do that, that's your subconscious. And when you get this in copywriting, you access this level of creativity that nobody else can access. So that's the reason I go for walks like this, to open my mind up, to get some breathing space, to get some steps in, and just have a balanced life. Because there's no point starting freelance copywriting if all you want to do is work 1,000,000 hours a week, because the whole reason behind it is to create this lifestyle balance. Well, that's why I got into it anyway. So 90 minutes down, 15-minute walk, 20-minute walk or something, and then I would go back into my second work block, which would take me to around about 11 o'clock in the morning till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Same again, I would then shut my laptop down for the morning, and then go and have some lunch, and go and do another activity, which would usually be like mountain biking or the gym, something along those lines. And that would be essentially my work done for the day. I would always only ever do 4 hours of focused work. Sometimes they were split up into 2-hour blocks, 90-minute blocks each, or half-an-hour blocks. But it's very, very important to define this and then walk away and leave it once you reach those time limits, because otherwise it doesn't have the same effect. I would then come back after mountain biking at lunch, and then I would have the decision or the choice to either go and do another work block or go and do something completely different. So this is the joy of copywriting, right? You have this flexibility and freedom to essentially build your own schedule, because everyone's always asking, like, what is it like? Like, what does your day-to-day look like? Well, I show a lot of it, I essentially wake up in the morning, and between the time I wake up and go to bed, I literally can do whatever I want. because that's the way I've built my lifestyle. Now, obviously I have a lot of discipline, which is something you need as a copywriter or any kind of entrepreneurial thing. You need to be disciplined. You can't just decide to go your own way and then not work, because this lifestyle won't build itself. This income won't build itself. This career doesn't build itself. So you have to put the work in. And I don't know about you, but I like work. I feel productive working, especially when it's things that I want to work on. So if I want to go back and work, which a lot of the times I do, because I enjoy my work, it makes me feel fulfilled, I'll go and do another work block from maybe 2 o'clock till 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. And then my day truly is done. And again, if I have some other trainings to do in the evening or some learning, that's when I would do it. So I would generally do like a lot of my consumption of new things in the evening. So from maybe 6:30 till about 10 o'clock at night, I would be either socializing with friends or consuming trainings, information on things, whatever. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I love learning. And that's the greatest thing about this lifestyle we've built. Like, you don't have anyone telling you to clock in, to clock out, to go and do this. Your lunch hour is this time. You literally can build this lifestyle however you want, which is the very reason I chose copywriting when I was in my joinery career, doing woodwork. And I wanted to get out of that, right? And it wasn't something that happened overnight, for sure. Granted, like these things take time. So if you are watching this and you've still not started copywriting, just understand that it's not something that's going to happen overnight. But at the same time, like, nothing will start happening until you start, right? So even if right now you are, copywriting sounds like an interesting path for you, just take the first step today. And that could be making the decision that you want to do this, doing some research into it, which you've watched in this video, so you already are doing research into what copywriting is like. But my lifestyle is pretty chill. I get to choose my own working hours. I get to wake up whenever I want. I could wake up with an alarm clock if I want. I don't have a boss to speak to or report to. I mean, sure, I have clients to speak to, which is very different, because when you're working with clients, good clients, ones that pay you premium rates, and they're like friends and people you want to hang out with, work doesn't really feel like work. Like, comment below if you've ever felt that. Comment below and let me know if you've ever felt that feeling where you're doing work, but it doesn't feel like work. And you're like, hang on, this is like such a strange feeling. Well, that's what my days feel like every day, because I've set it up this way. I've built the lifestyle this way. And check this car out, guys. Look at this. Look at this car. How cool is that? A little buggy. So yeah, my day-to-day life is very chilled out. It changes from day to day, but generally I like to do most of my productive work in the morning, because that's when I feel the best. But I can build this lifestyle however I want. I hope this is useful and interesting to you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.